Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a great day so far and welcome to today's video where I'm going to be trying out for the very first time with you guys the new Armani Luminous Silk liquid highlighters. If you are not new here, you will know I tried their liquid blush formula a few weeks ago now and I really enjoyed it and found it very easy to use. So although I'm not really a liquid girl at heart, I knew I could probably trust Armani with coming up with a liquid that I can find easy to use, that won't lift up my base, that won't be hard to blend, so let's hope I was right. I'm going to be trying this for the first time live with you guys on camera and see how idiot proof it is, and I also have some comparisons with other liquid highlights that I have tried in the past, some less successfully than I hope this is going to go today. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so these new Luminous Silk liquid highlighters from Armani, they will set you back £31. I don't currently have a dollar's price because I think this is only launched in the UK as I speak, as I'm filming this. I think that is the case. It comes in 5 shades and I chose shade number 3, which is called Dawn. It had a sort of slightly pinky look to it in the swatch, so that was the one that I thought would work the best for my skin tone. That's sort of right in the middle shade. I felt like 1 and 2 were a little light for my skin tone. 4 and 5 were going to be a bit deep, so bang down the middle as usual, I picked the middle shade. And for your money, you will get 12 mils of product, which is the exact same amount that they have in the Charlotte Tilbury Beauty Light ones. 1 mil more than the Dior Glow Maximizers, although this does come in a Didier more travel friendly component, and 3 mils less than you get in the Rare Beauty, which has 15 mils, a whopper if you will. By the way, side note, I took my children to Burger King after their swimming club session the other day and my son asked what a whooper was, and I literally can't get that out of my head ever since. From now on, I'll be calling it a whooper. Sounds much more sophisticated than a whopper, doesn't it? Anyway, I digress as usual. So these are described as being a watery, that's an odd word to put in your makeup description, but we're going with it. A watery yet creamy skincare derived liquid highlighter infused with tinted micro pearls, buzzword there, that melts onto skin for a radiant finish. And it is cruelty free. So I don't know if I love the word watery. That alarms me because I feel like the waterier and runnier a liquid product is, the more likely it is to be too wet on the skin and it's going to pick up what you laid down before it. But we withhold judgment because, like I said, I've got on very well with their liquid blushes, so I'm hoping this is going to be a similar experience. So let's take a look at this super beautiful packaging. Quite simple but gorgeous nonetheless. And here is the doe foot, quite large, and it has a slightly odd sort of foot-like shape to it. Is that just me that sees that? What I did notice when I was swatching this product outside is that the doe foot does not pick up a huge amount of product, which I like. It picks up quite a small amount initially, and you can always go in with more, but obviously if you go in too heavily, it's then harder to blend it. So I did like that the doe foot initially picks up a more reserved amount, a more polite amount of highlighter. Here is this shade swatched. And let's blend it. I actually struggled to photograph this outside because it almost disappeared on my hand. Like, it seems as though it will be a perfect shade for my skin tone because it really is blending in with it, which is exactly what we like. It feels just like the blushes, very skincare-y, a little serum-y perhaps. I have high hopes, I'll say that. I mean, as you can see, their blended swatch, it looks very smooth. I can see no glitter or shimmer on my hand when I'm looking really closely at this blended swatch. Under sunlight you will get the odd sparkle, but on my hand here, really close, it looks completely smooth and just glossy. I'm excited. Let's get this on my face, shall we? Stop messing around. So as you guys know, I am a liquid idiot, okay? I really struggle with liquid products. I find them scary to apply. I find them trickier to apply than a powder. So I am going to use my sort of idiot-proof method, which is I'm just going to roll the dough foot onto the back of my hand, and you just see how small an amount that is. That is like the whole amount that's on the dough foot, so a really small amount. And I'm going to use my most idiot-proof brush, which is BK Beauty's 109, and I'm just going to stamp that into the product until the brush is nice and evenly coated. And I'm going to just easy for you to say. There's hair on my face, dear Liza. So this is no highlighter, this is highlighter. I think that is a very barely there. That is very, very subtle. I barely can see any difference. So what I'm going to do this time is I'm going to apply the dough, what is on the dough foot, straight onto the brush, because I think this is obviously quite a subtle product, so I think we're going to have to build it up if you want a bit more of a typical amount of glow. There we go. Okay, and I don't think I needed to be as scared as I was. It does feel wet now that I'm putting on a lot, and I'm being very gentle just in case. I'm going to add a bit on my chin, down my nose. I don't have powder all over my face. I've bronzed my hairline and I have powder under my eyes and on my nose and chin, but not on my cheeks where the majority of this highlighter is going. So I think this is better. I think in order to get the amount of highlight that I like, as per this chic, we're going to have to go a bit heavier handed, which is great because I'd rather we have to build than proceed with caution. You know, that's when things go wrong, because if you go too heavy straight off the bat, it's hard to undo, but you can build until the cows come home, you know, and they won't mind. They'll move on with their lives. Okay, talk among yourselves. I'm examining close-up magnified mirror. It has not moved anything at all. So we've got, it's definitely meeting where I've applied powder here. No problem has arisen from that fact. On the cheek, the chic, no foundation lifted whatsoever, and I am really peeking as hard as one can peek in that mirror, okay? And I can't see any picking up, any movement, any caking up. It looks flipping seamless. I'm not 100% sure this is the perfect shade. It's slightly, as I'm turning my face, we're getting a little bit of a grey cast, which usually tells me that the shade is a little light than ideal for my skin tone. But I don't think there was a better shade than this. The two lighter, as I said, would only be worse because they're lighter. And the two deeper really did look too deep, but maybe I could need to go one shade up for it to be perfect. At the moment, so today I'm wearing shade 13 in Patrick Tar's new foundation. I'm like a medium skin tone. And I'm really being picky, just to be clear, okay? Really picky. It's only a hair, it doesn't look bad. It's not leaving a grey cast. And as I'm looking forward, I think it looks great, beautiful and blended like a dream cheek. But it's just certain angles, it's almost lighter than my skin tone. So I think I could have done with going up a shade. That being said, the application process was a delight and a dream. And even applying it, not with my fail-safe back of the hand method, but directly onto the brush, and the whole dough foot went on there. So I was actually feeling like, you know, the wetness of the product as I'm applying it. And I thought, wow, disaster is striking before us. But it was actually fine. Nothing picked up. It blended in so effortlessly. And I think it's gorgeous. Very flattering. It does not look like there's anything on my skin when as far as, you know, adding to texture. There's been no change. It's looking gloriously smooth and juicy. So I think what I'm going to do now, this has had a few minutes to chill out undisturbed on my cheeks and just enjoy itself. So I think what I'd like to do is add a little bit of blush over the top and see if that causes any problems. I don't feel safe when nothing bad has happened when I'm using a liquid, okay? I feel like we almost want to make something bad happen, you know? Otherwise, what are we even doing? You know, we want to test it. We want to give it a bit of a challenge. At the moment, it's not really met with any powders. So I just want to see. I'm not going to really try to mess it up intentionally, in all seriousness. But I do want to sort of do a full face of makeup and see how it goes. I don't want to give it an easy time, you know. It's £31. It's got to do something for its money. By the way, this is my new favourite blush from Chanel. This is the shade Brume d'Or. Just in case you're interested, no one asked, I realised. Maybe someone did, but that was in the future. Okay, so we've got blush on, and I'm going to buff that into the skin. It's looking beautiful on my nose, I will say. Want the perfect amount of glow. I mean, it's seamless, isn't it? It literally... Could you tell that there was a cream and a powder together, married on my cheek right now? I don't think you could. It just looks seamless. How infuriating. It's not that I didn't want to like it, you understand. I like to give a bit more balance to my reviews, and I would like something bad to have happened. I guess let's just go with the shade thing, okay? So, you know, that could have been better. So there you go. There's your balance. Pros and cons is what we like here. I kind of feel like I could just look at this forever. It's so pretty, and I feel like the blush actually helped it come together and work more with my skin tone, so I don't feel bad about the shade anymore. So pretty. It's so smoothing. Very, very blurring. My cheeks, in fact, look smoother than when we begun. I don't know what kind of dark magic is happening here, but wow. I mean, I don't say wow very often, certainly not when it comes to liquids, but Armani, you've charmed me. I can't deny it. Okay, well that's that. I think I'm gonna have to give up trying to find fault. I think it looks divine, okay? This might be a second cream or liquid that makes it into my top drawer this year. What's going on? Am I growing up? Surely not. I'm maturing like a fine wine. So what we'll do now is have a little comparison with some of the other products that I showed you earlier. So let's start with the new Armani. And I'm going to do heavy swatches for this comparison so that we can see the shade, because I think that's the most useful thing. Now, the Dior Luminizer feels a lot thinner and wetter, I would say, than the Armani. It definitely has that sort of serum-y feel. Here is the shade Nude in the Luminizer. Definitely a bit warmer than this shade 3. And then I have two of Charlotte Tilbury's Beauty Light ones that I thought might be close. We have Pillow Talk, the original Pillow Talk, and we have Plumpgasm, which is much pinker. So here we have the original Pillow Talk, not the Pillow Talk medium. And is there a deep one? I'm not sure, but it's the original one. And actually that is the closest, very close in shade, but much more metallic. And then Plumpgasm, much pinker, as you can see. By the way, I can't smell anything with this new Armani highlighter. As I was applying it, I gave it a good sniff. You know me, I love to get my nose in places it doesn't belong, and I could not smell anything. If I was to guess that I could smell something, there was potentially a very faint skincare fragrance, so I couldn't smell perfume or fragrance or anything really without really getting right in there. And even then, I felt like I was making up that I could smell something. So next we have that whopper, or whooper as we say in this house, of a liquid luminizer from Rare Beauty. This is the shade Transcend, a bit darker than the Armani. What a pretty hand this is becoming, by the way. I might just leave this all day. And then I have one of the Armani Fluid Sheers. So these are their glow enhancers, another liquid, and this is shade 11. This is much runnier and sheerer. These are sort of mixer products. You can barely see that there. Let's give you a little close up. So we have the Armani shade 3 right at the top. One shade down is the Dior in the shade Nude. Then we have Charlotte Tilbury's Pillow Talk and Plumpgasm. And then we have the Transcend shade from Rare Beauty and that Fluid Sheer shade 11. So it's definitely quite close to Pillow Talk from Charlotte Tilbury in shade, but much smoother and less metallic. Okay, so there you have it. I was not expecting this to go so smoothly. No pun intended, or was it? I don't know anymore, I can't tell. There's still a hair somewhere on my nose. But I'm counting this as a resounding success. I found it so easy to use, even though I needed to kind of use quite a lot of it. I love that the doe foot really controls the product, so there isn't a huge amount and you have to scrape all of the excess back in like you do with some of these formulas, like the Dior and the Rare Beauty. You know, you've kind of got to wipe off the doe foot and go carefully, whereas this one has a doe foot, which I do like because it kind of helps you control that product, but it doesn't pick up a huge amount of product that you're then stuck trying to blend somehow. I really like it. It's very small and diddy and travel friendly and cute. Very cutesy, very demure. I've got to stop saying that. But despite that, you're still getting 12 mils of product, which is going to last you a very long time as you don't need much. But it's so pretty, very flattering, very mature skin friendly, no enhancing of my texture. It's seamless on the skin. It really does have that sort of blurring and smoothing, pore refining type of effect. Feels a little serum-y, very lightweight. I can't feel it at all on the skin, and it doesn't feel sticky. You know, I've got the Patrick Tar foundation on, so my skin isn't sort of dried down and set. So again, it was a bit of a challenging base for it to go on top of today, but I think it did a great job, and I am not good with liquids, as you guys know. So this definitely gets the stamp of approval as far as is it idiot proof? It is. I proved it. I might actually be going straight back for a second shade because I think it's gorgeous, and I wouldn't mind seeing if there is just a shade, a hair up. It looks like the next one's going to be a bit of a jump, but we will see. I'll let you know. It melted into the skin so easily that perhaps the deeper shade would actually work for me, so I will keep you posted on that. I will, as always, keep trying this with different products in different ways over the next few weeks, and I'll update you on this in my September beauty roundup. But thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you found this video helpful, and I would love to see you in the next one. Otherwise, take care for now. Bye.